You may be overwhelmed trying to find a dog trainer. There's a lot of us out there, and being in an unregulated field, it can be difficult to make a decision because anyone can call themselves a dog trainer. Hi, I'm Paula with Canine Country Academy. We create videos to give you the tools and the skills to have a well-mannered dog, all while building the relationship you both deserve. The number one question most people ask when it comes to hiring a dog trainer is, how much does it cost? But I'm here to share with you 7 other questions you should ask before that pricing question. Due to our industry being unregulated, it's really important you know who you're hiring. You're spending your hard-earned income and you're trusting your precious dog to this individual. I want to make sure whoever you hire is the best fit for you and your dog's needs. Question number 1. What method of dog training do you use? You may not be aware, but there are all different kinds of methods out there to train your dog. And it's really important you understand what the trainer is well versed in and what you're comfortable with your dog experiencing. Now, I come from a place of positive reinforcement because I want the dogs to trust me and to have a mutual relationship. I don't want to create any kind of harm or fear for the dog to obey, if you will, my commands. I really want the dog to be a collaborative member in the training. I look at it as a relationship where I want to build them up and not tear them down. This isn't true of all trainers. So it's important to ask this question and then really listen to what they have to say. Are they using positive reinforcement? Are they using punishment? And if so, what kind? And what pushes them to use certain methods based on what your dog does? The better you can understand what they offer, the better your experience will be. Question number 2. When my dog does something wrong, what will you do? Or what should I do? When you're getting coached to train your dog or you're sending your dog off for training, it's important to know what types of punishment your dog may experience. Now, in the world of any kind of training, there has to be a consequence if an animal or a person does something incorrect. Punishment doesn't need to be harsh or intimidating or cause any kind of fear. It can actually be something that helps the dog get information to know they did the wrong thing and to try something else. For us at Canine Country Academy, we're going to use something called negative punishment. Negative punishment is when we remove something that the dog wants. So if we're offering them a treat to do a behavior and they say, nah, I'd rather not, or maybe they're unsure, then we withhold the treat. The same can be true for a dog that you are wanting to wait to go outside or sit before you open the door. If they don't do the thing that you're asking them to do, what's the consequence? For us, we're just not going to open that door, and we're going to give our dog a future opportunity to go through that door if we've asked them. Now, we're not about nothing in life is free and make your dog work for everything, but if we're teaching our dog new skills, it's important to use training opportunities as well as real life opportunities to work on those behaviors. I absolutely give my dogs plenty of things for free. They don't have to sit for everything or do a cute trick in order to get me to open up every single door. Other trainers might choose to use what's called positive punishment, meaning they add to the dog some sort of correction. It could be something mild or it could be something harsh. And you need to look at what your own philosophy is on dog training, as well as understanding what the dog is going to experience and if that's appropriate for your dog. Now, while that's not my cup of tea, I prefer not to punish a dog if I can avoid it of any kind. But what I will say is that there are trainers out there who might use no harshly, they might use a squirt bottle, they might throw coins at the dog, they might do something that would startle or upset your dog, and it's important for you to know what is that and when are they going to do that. Question number 3. What is your educational background in dog training and dog behavior, if applicable? There's no one path a dog trainer has to go in order to call themselves a dog trainer or even a behavior consultant. There are plenty of academies out there that go through a specific course in order to help people become dog trainers. There also are private apprentice programs, and then there's others who have had a mentor, or they have worked alongside someone, or they've just done it themselves. They've always been around animals, and maybe that's just what they learned from a very early age. I know that's not easy to hear as a pet dog owner, that there's not one path, there's not one certification, but understanding that they've had some sort of education, or the education that they have is appropriate for your dog's. Question number 4. What continuing education have you recently attended? I love continuing education for myself and for our team. It helps keep us fresh, it helps get new ideas, and really stay on top of the science when it comes to dog training. And this is important if you're going to hire someone, to find out what are they doing to continually up their educational level so they can support you even better. There are online workshops, there's seminars, there's conferences that can be attended, and it's a wide variety of things. And it's important that it applies to what you're seeking. So if the person has been working on something unrelated to your issue, it may be a sign this isn't the right fit. Question number 5. What equipment do you use when training dogs? There are all different kinds of equipment out there and different consequences for using different equipment. For us here at Canine Country Academy, we want to use equipment that's comfortable, effective, and humane for both the human and the dog. Again, we're not trying to create any kind of intimidation or pain or discomfort when it comes to training. So we use things like martingale collars, harnesses, regular flat collars, or even head halters. This isn't true of everyone in our industry. Some people are open to using what's called a prong collar or a pinch collar. They also will use a choke chain or even an electric collar. You need to understand what those pieces of equipment do and how they may impact your dog and your approach to dog training. When it comes to equipment, we want something that is going to assist us in the training, but not create a negative association for the dog emotionally. We don't want them to see another dog and then feel a correction or a pinch on their equipment, and then they start thinking, oh, that dog may have caused that problem, and now I don't like seeing that dog or that person. Now, not all dogs are going to respond negatively to things like pinch collars or choke chains or even e-collars, but we're not willing to take that risk. And you need to make an informed decision if that's appropriate for you and your dog. Question number 5. What sort of credentials do you have? In our industry, there are certain credentials that are nationwide, and there aren't many of them, but you need to do some research to find out what organizations offer these sort of credentials. I'm a certified professional dog trainer, knowledge assessed. So that's a CPDT KA. I'm also a certified nose work instructor, or CNWI, and I'm also a certified trick dog instructor. What's important to know here is not necessarily that they have credentials, is what are those credentials and does it apply to your training or behavioral needs. Now, as a CPDTKA, this means that I put in a certain number of hours, so 300 hours total of training or working directly with dogs, and then I took a test to assess my knowledge. Now, this particular certification does require continuing educational credits, which means that every so many years I have to have X number of credits in order to keep that certification level, or I'd have to recertify. There are other certifications out there that are appropriate for lots of dog training needs. Just do a little bit of Googling and find out what certifications are important. If you're focusing on behavior, you might want them to have some sort of behavior certificate, and find out, is this a national organization that they're getting it from? Now, that being said, I'll be completely honest. Most of my team members do not have certifications. They came through our apprentice program and we continue their education, but that doesn't mean that they're not quality trainers. So there may be trainers out there that don't have certifications, but they're completely capable of serving your needs. So keep in mind that a certification isn't the end-all, be-all. Find out if this is a good fit for you, both in the methods that they use, the equipment that they use, and the knowledge that they have to help you. Question number 7. What sort of services do you provide specific to my training goals, challenges, or behavior problems? When you're researching who to hire as your dog trainer or behavior consultant, it's important to know that they can actually help you with your needs. Now, if you're being proactive, that might be easier. If you don't have any issues, you're just trying to train your puppy or get your dog some manners. When it comes to more behavioral needs, your dog is acting out aggressively or really shy, it's important to know that they have the services and the knowledge of how to help you and your dog. One of the misconceptions about training is that if your dog has a behavioral issue, so they're acting out aggressively towards another dog or human, or they're really shy, that they need manners. That's not true. It would be very much like me saying if you had a child and they're acting out and being rude and silly, that you're going to teach them how to have table manners. That doesn't mean that they're going to actually have behavioral support. It's a different kind of training and understanding to have behavior modification. So asking them if they've worked with certain cases can be helpful, or if they have references in regards to the type of case you have. Are vet offices or behavior consultants in other areas referring to this particular trainer for those needs? If they're not, then maybe ask them if they know someone who is offering that sort of service to address your specific training needs. When I was looking for a dog trainer, I was clueless. I had gone to a big box store thinking it was going to help my shy dog, and it was anything but helpful, from the methods that were used to the environment for my individual dog. And so we went to one of 6 classes, and I never went back. And then I found Canine Country Academy 10 years ago. And again, I was still clueless. I didn't know what I was looking for. And I can remember thinking, gosh, these obedience classes are expensive, or this behavior session is expensive. And now I own the company, which is pretty funny, right? But I want you to be successful in finding a dog trainer and or a behavior consultant. I know it can be overwhelming to try to find someone to help you and your dog. It's embarrassing at times, and maybe you're ashamed of, maybe I should have done this sooner, right? But let that go, because there are some amazing people out there that just want to help people and dogs have a great life together. And if you're not sure where to find these people, I'm going to post some links down below to places you can start looking and seeing who are these people? Where are they, so they can help me, right? I want it to be easier for you to find someone who's a good fit for you, both in personality and in knowledge and experience. And if you still struggle, post a comment here and I will see if I can network and find someone in your area that I would recommend, or that you can at least research. Even if you get a recommendation from myself or someone else, always do your own research. Don't just trust that what I say is what should be okay for you and your dog. You really need to understand, is this a fit for you? Because you're the one who's going to be living with this dog, and you're going to be the one paying the bill. The other thing that I was totally clueless about when it came to having dogs was taking care of their nails. Our very first dog, Frankie, had a nightmare of an experience with us doing his nails. It took my husband and I. It was stressful for all of us. Even with food, it just wasn't fun. And so now, as a dog trainer, I like to share with you how to help your dog have an easier time with their nails. And so I posted this video here. It's talking about the scratch pad. It's a great product. You can also make it yourself to teach your dog how to scratch their own nails and file them down, especially for dogs who are already stressed by having their nails done. It's really important to keep those nails short and trim, and this is one of the ways you can do that.